Rhoda, our regional coverage of the Northern Marianas, reporting what you need to know, asking the hard questions, and sharing your voice, your view on the issues that matter in good times and in challenging ones and in changing times. KUAM CNMI, keeping our community at the center because we are better together. The founders of KUAM had a vision to be a source of information and entertainment for our region. Our inaugural slogan, Voice of the Marianas, is something that still resonates today through our dedicated coverage of CNMI news and community information on television and our digital platforms. We are proud to be your Voice of the Marianas and thank you for turning to us to keep you informed. KUAM, a legacy of local, a legacy of firsts for 70 years. On Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda, our regional coverage of the Northern Marianas, reporting what you need to know, asking the hard questions, and sharing your voice, your view on the issues that matter in good times and in challenging ones and in changing times. KUAM CNMI, keeping our community at the center because we are better together.
Ready? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out this afternoon. I wanted to let you folks know and the community know that there was an incident this morning at approximately 9:39 a.m. A male individual was seen in the jungle on the south side of the DOC facility, caught throwing an object over the DOC fence into the DOC full court while the inmates were in recreation playing basketball. At that point, my staff immediately responded to the call to assist with the search, and my internal affairs staff got in their vehicles and responded to the Nauru building to search for the suspect along with DPS officers. And we got a description of the individual, the suspect, male individual, height between 5 feet 5 inches to about 5 feet 8 inches. His weight between 180 pounds to 200 pounds, medium tan skin, short wavy hair. He was wearing a blue or turquoise colored shirt with light brown camouflage long sleeve jacket and dark colored shorts with slippers. DPS assisted with us in the search and scouring the jungle area for the suspect. And I think this morning, some of the staff and the individuals working in the Nauru building were probably a little startled by seeing a lot of the police in the area, and that's what it was. We were looking for the suspect who was here, and again, I wanted to reiterate with the recent contraband bill on Section B1. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly provides or attempts to provide major or minor contraband to a person in custody in a correctional facility, on the grounds of a correctional facility, or during an outside assignment. So with that, I want the community to know, or if anybody has seen the individual that I described, to please call it in to DPS or Crime Stoppers or DOC. The suspect is still at large, I'm open to questions. Or I also want to know, let everybody know again, with partnership with Department of Public Safety, Customs and Biosecurity, we are going to do everything it takes in partnership also with the Attorney General's office in prosecuting these individuals. And I also want to kind of brief you. I haven't really briefed you folks with some of the most recent contraband cases that we have. We have two that are individuals who have been charged who are no longer working here. An officer and a lieutenant. An officer was caught bringing in contraband, specifically a cell phone, for an inmate to use. That's currently in the courts. And then a former correctional lieutenant was caught bringing in contraband specifically for inmates. He's no longer with us as well. That's pending in the courts. And open for questions.
Commissioner, can you just tell us what the contraband was?
Given that we're still it's still pending investigation, we're still trying to figure out, well, the suspect is at large. We retrieved the contraband. Just know it's contraband. Whether it's minor or major, it is contraband. It is we have a contraband bill in effect, so it is against the law to do any of that. So I'm not going to go into the details of the specifics of it.
And do you know when was the last time something like this happened, and was it for any particular inmate so far that you've been able to find?
We're still investigating that. We're trying to figure it out. I know my staff immediately called for a lockdown. They took the inmates who were in the rec yard and conducted a full strip search and did a mass interview. So that was done well by my staff, and I commend them for doing that. In the past, to my knowledge, before I got here, things like this have happened, but there was no remedy. It was only handled administratively, so there was really no weight. Now with the contraband mill, it gives us along with DPS something to pursue.
And Commissioner Marcaranas, can you just explain, to the extent you're able to, obviously this is being live broadcasted right now and you don't want to give necessarily your strategy away, but what is DPS's involvement and plan, and is there any immediate threat to the public?
With this case right now, because we handle the investigative part in collaboration with the personnel at the Department of Corrections, our part is to take the complaint and then investigate the complaint, and then when the case has been fully investigated, it'll be forwarded to the Office of Attorney General for prosecution.
All right.
Chief, would you like to comment?
I think the commissioner said everything he needs to say in regards to that case. Thank you.
I just want to go back to the commissioner correction. Did any inmate admit that it was for them, or particularly for them? Did any?
Given that it's still under investigation, not to my knowledge, but we're still conducting the investigation, and they're still trying to. We're actually even looking at a lot of the former inmates' pictures who were here to try to get a positive ID. So we're looking into that as well, because there could be some collusion with that, right? I mean, former inmates who wanted to come in and drop some contraband off for their fellow brothers who are playing basketball. So we're looking at all angles.
And this occurrence is only this time, or that it has happened in the past?
Again, this is to my knowledge. It's happened in the past before the contraband bill, before I got here. So there was really no movement because they couldn't really even. There was no. DPS couldn't look and investigate into it. But with the contraband bill, it just now. DPS is armed with something to actually build a case against someone, if that makes sense. So.
Can you reiterate again, Commissioner, what are the penalties for doing something like this?
Oh gosh, the penalties. I mean, I have the bill in front of me. We can talk about the major or minor. We do know that you can get charged for it. We can talk about some of the major contraband items, which would be any firearm, ammunition, explosive, combustibles, materials, any dangerous device or dangerous weapon, anything that is designed or intended to be used to facilitate escape from a correctional facility or outside assignment, marijuana, controlled substance in Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, as defined in 6 CMC Chapter 1, any telecommunication devices, including any electronic device or apparatus associated with the device, cell phone, tablet, pager. I don't know if anybody carries pagers anymore, but those are some examples. Minor contraband could be alcoholic beverages, betel nut, tobacco, flash drives. I mean, we can go on and on, but you got the two phases, major and minor, but they're both considered contraband.
And Commissioner, do we have any security cameras around?
We have some out in the front, but we're getting within a couple months we're gonna get a lot of coverage. That's forthcoming. That was through CIP, and we're gonna be getting some surveillance cameras in sections in the housing units outside surrounding the whole facility. So, in a perfect world, we'd be able to get that person picture right now, and probably would have apprehended him because we have those surveillance cameras, right, in those areas.
And when the inmates, they were playing basketball, right? You said.
They were out in fresh air.
So is that a regular schedule? So someone would know that they would be out there playing at that time?
So that's what we're looking into, right? It could be calculated, right? It could be planned. This is why cell phones are prohibited in the secured area unless you're authorized. So I'm authorized to have a cell phone in the secured area, and a few of my leadership staff. Other than that, no other staff members who are not authorized will not have cell phones on their person when we're going into the secured area.
And you are seeking the public's help to help find
Yes,
them?
yes.
Any other descriptions or anything, any other details that might be helpful for them to look out for?
Tomas, not at this time. Not besides that. I mean, just a description of what he was wearing. Again, a blue-colored shirt, light brown camouflage long sleeve jacket, dark-colored shorts, slippers, between 5'5" to 5'8", 180 to 200 pounds, medium tan skin, short wavy hair. This was around 9:30 this morning. So between the time of 9:30 to 10:30, if you've seen anybody that fits that description, to call DPS, call Crime Stoppers, and help us apprehend this individial.
So there's no indication of a vehicle was used, or he was just on foot, or?
Yeah, I mean that's all I have right now.
Okay.
Is they went, they looked for the individual, and he was able to flee. Probably he was a fast runner. I don't know. but yes, we're here to ask the community's help, and also for everybody's awareness of, for anybody thinking to do this, if you get caught, you're gonna end up being an inmate yourself.
All right, and is that it? I wanted to transition to another event in the news
Sure.
we could talk about with DPS. And so, Commissioner Macaranas, we saw the unfortunate news of the passing of a tourist who drowned, I believe. Can you just brief us on what we know so far?
All right. We do have a male, Asian male, drowned in Laulo area. and I understand that you brought up a question that it prolongs. It's because we're doing investigation. There's still some questionable about this individual, and also with the company that's providing those diving lessons. So we're still in the early stage as to make the determination what it really. But all we know is that a Asian male had drowned in Lolo as a result of a diving expedition.
And this was last Friday, right?
Yes.
And so you're investigating just the circumstances surrounding that. There might be something more to this.
Yes. And there's other reasons, and I'll be calling a press conference soon so that we could give you more details into this. My office did receive partial, but I just want to make sure that I have all the detail before I could actually give it out to you all.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda, our regional coverage of the Northern Marianas, reporting what you need to know, asking the hard questions, and sharing your voice, your view on the issues that matter in good times and in challenging ones and in changing times. KUAM CNMI, keeping our community at the center because we are better together.